What's going on, guys? Zuni here. So yesterday I asked you guys if anyone's feeling burnt out of RuneScape, and 58% of people said that they play way less than they used to, 23% of people said that they're playing more than ever, and 19% of people said that they're just waiting for new updates, with around 470 votes on the poll. And it seems to be a common topic in the RuneScape community as of late, that people are just feeling burnt out of the game. And a big reason for that is the lack of updates. I remember at the beginning of the year, there was something to look forward to almost every week. We got Shooting Stars, we got Temporos, we got the Shades of Morton minigame rework, we got the Isle of Souls and the Soul Wars minigame. But recently, there just hasn't been much added to the game. And I thought that I would make a video covering some points that can help you feel less burnt out and play the game more. So let's get right into it. So the first one is to stop worrying about XP rates and GP per hour. Now here's the thing, the RuneScape community isn't 13 years old anymore, and people have jobs, possibly families, so it's completely understandable that the mindset of the player base has shifted to a more efficient gameplay style. People want to have the best XP rates and the most GP per hour that they can possibly have, with wasting as little time as possible. But here's the thing, right? The best XP and GP per hour methods can sometimes be very not fun to do. For example, I've recently done 9,000 laps of the Ardoin agility course on my Ultimate Ironman, and it was one of the biggest grinds that I've ever went through. But a lot of people just don't have that dedication to the game, and that's completely fine. I would have absolutely loved to go do some Brimhaven agility, or possibly the Hollowed Sepulchre and Darkmire, but because of my account's restrictions, I couldn't go do those methods. But if you're feeling like you're not enjoying the method, you should definitely switch things up and stop worrying about having the best XP and GP per hour. The second tip ties in with the first one, and that is to have a set goal whenever you log into RuneScape. It's good to have short and long-term goals to work towards on your account, because the worst thing that you can be doing is logging into the game, walking around the Grand Exchange for 2 minutes, and then logging out because you have no idea what you should do in game. So having a set goal for the day, or for maybe a month ahead, is a really good thing because you know you're working towards something. The third tip might have some of you guys rolling your eyes, but it's to watch RuneScape content, whether it would be watching streams on Twitch or watching YouTube videos. The reason why this is important is because let's say you're watching an Alkan video, and we all know Alkan is a beast. He has multiple hardcore accounts, one of those being maxed, and now he's also tackling the Ultimate Ironman game mode. And whenever you're watching a video where someone is achieving goals and playing the game a lot, you're subconsciously going to want to play the game more yourself. So I think this is a really important thing, because I personally know whenever I'm watching like some League of Legends content on YouTube, I want to go play League because that's just how our brain works. So if you surround yourself with RuneScape content, you're going to find yourself playing the game way more. The fourth tip is kind of out there, but it's to make RuneScape content. And whether that would be streaming on Twitch or making YouTube videos. But I personally know for a fact that if it wasn't for my YouTube channel, I would not be playing RuneScape nearly as much, if at all. So if you haven't thought about it, I suggest you do. Making RuneScape videos is super simple. I mean, you just put clips together. It's really nothing difficult. All the cinematic stuff you can learn within a few hours of watching tutorials on YouTube, and setting a stream up is as easy as ever, so there's really no excuse. Also, I found myself doing content that I otherwise would have never if it wasn't for my YouTube channel, because I thought that it would make an interesting video. So the fifth tip is to make a unique account build. Now what I mean by that is if you're a PKer, there's dozens of account builds for you to try out, and so there's always an account to make if you don't have one already. But as for a skiller/PVMer, there's a lot of restricted accounts out there. For example, the most famous one being Settled's Mauritania only Ultimate Ironman, but there's a lot of ways people are restricting their accounts. For example, I currently have a series on my channel where I play an Ultimate Ironman account that can only train one skill at a time. So I've already done woodcutting and agility, and I would keep all of my stats at 1, except for HP, which is obviously 10, and then I would go all the way from 1 to 99 woodcutting without training any other skill. And I've also done the same for agility, and I'm currently tackling thieving. There's so many different account builds. For example, chunk restricted Ironman, who split their game maps into chunks, and then they unlock those chunks by completing content that resides in the already unlocked chunks. So if you want to try out a self-restricted account, it's probably one of the most fun ways to play the game at the moment. Not to mention that we're getting the group Ironman mode in less than 10 days, so I personally cannot wait for that. The fifth tip is to just play other games. Playing RuneScape and only playing RuneScape is going to have you burning out way earlier than if you were to play other games on the side, or potentially do like a 2-hour session of RuneScape and then go play one game of Rocket League or something, and then coming back to playing RuneScape. It's fairly simple, it's a quick dopamine rush because RuneScape is one of those games where it takes you a really long time to grind the game to get that dopamine rush, but there's a lot of games out there where it's just action all the time, so taking a break from the game to have some fun is actually not a bad thing at all. And the last tip that I'm going to give you guys is to just take a break. If all of these steps have not helped you at all, then I think it's probably time to just take a break, whether that be 1 week or 3 months. I remember last year around this time, I felt so burnt out of the game that I quit, and I came back after 3 months of not playing the game at all. But I felt super refreshed, and I actually really enjoyed playing my main account again, and then I made my one skill at a time Ultimate Ironman, and I was watching a lot of RuneScape content on the side, and it was probably one of the best things I could have done, just taking a 3-month break, which I know is a long time, but in my opinion, it was well worth it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It might have seemed a little unorganized, but that's just because I don't have a script. I just had pointers written down and I kind of rambled around them, but I really do hope that Group Ironman kind of reignites the amount of hours that people are playing. It's also worth keeping in mind that summer just ended, and during the summer people are playing way less video games because they want to go outside and spend time doing other things than just playing video games 8 hours a day. But winter is around the corner, and that means that hopefully everyone is going to be playing RuneScape again, and I also hope we're getting tons of updates. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful day.